This apprenticeship journey map is based on in-depth interviews with apprentices, industry experts, employers, and other stakeholders in the institutional, commercial, and industrial construction sector, otherwise known as the ICI sector. This map illustrates how individuals interested in a career in the construction trades have the opportunity to enter through 4 points of entry, which lead them through 5 phases of the apprenticeship pipeline. These phases are exploration, preparation and registration, apprenticeship training, completing certification, and last but not least, obtaining the certificate of qualification. Drop-off points. You will notice that there are red circles that surround the dots along the pipeline on this journey map. These circles are known as drop-off points. A drop-off point is a point in the apprentice's journey where there is a high chance for the individual to drop off of the process, be pushed out, give up, or leave. This means that there is a lack of support and an increased likelihood for external pressures and/or a systemic barrier that may lead the individual to drop off of pursuing their ambitions to complete the apprenticeship. It is especially important for educators, mentors, nonprofit service providers, and caregivers who are supporting folks that are pursuing their careers in the construction trade to provide increased wraparound supports during this period of high need. By identifying these drop-off points, we have the opportunity to understand the barriers that can prevent historically underrepresented groups from pursuing an apprenticeship and ultimately entering the trades. In the exploration phase, we see that there are 4 points of entry into the apprenticeship pipeline that an individual can take to pursue their apprenticeship. First, there's OYAP, Ontario Youth Apprenticeship Program, pre-app, a pre-apprenticeship program, CODA, Co-op Diploma Apprenticeship Program, and finally, Standard Apprenticeship Pathway. Now we will move into the preparation and registration phase. At this phase, experiences may vary when attempting to pursue voluntary trades in comparison to compulsory trades. One such barrier experienced by those pursuing their apprenticeship directly, particularly in the voluntary trades, is that sponsors are looking for apprentices who already have work experience. In the pre-apprenticeship pathway, that may include an introduction to various hands-on skills, other kinds of preparation for the industry, and individuals may experience personal challenges that require ongoing wraparound support from the service provider. Similarly, in the OYAP pathway, support from the school board and the OYAP program is equally important. There are various points where financial barriers will pose a challenge. It is crucial that we pay attention to these stages in the process when supporting an apprentice in this journey. You will notice that for those pursuing the standard apprenticeship pathway, finding a trade and finding a sponsor to begin with can be a major drop-off point, particularly for those who don't have pre-existing relationships with a direct connection into the trade of their choice. Also, for OYAP participants, a potential drop-off point can be completing and obtaining their Ontario Secondary School Diploma, otherwise known as the OSSD, without a direct connection into a union or employer. We have arrived at the apprenticeship training phase. This phase of the training can take anywhere from 2 to 5 years at least. In this phase, you are considered to be an apprentice. During stakeholder consultations, it was revealed that there exists a barrier whereby many apprentices may not be aware of what is expected of them when pursuing an apprenticeship in the voluntary or compulsory trades. Clarifying differences in expectations should occur well before pursuing the apprenticeship in order to ensure that expectations are clear. A potential drop-off point is the on-the-job training, which can be rather challenging for apprentices. Circumstances may range from navigating and understanding power structures on the worksite, seeking support and guidance of a mentor, or being sent home for reasons unknown. As a result, it is crucial that those supporting individuals to pursue the construction trade create tracking mechanisms in order to ensure that we are able to evaluate, investigate, and address the systemic barriers that face individuals. Now we move into the completing certification phase. At this phase, apprentices must submit their completed logbooks to be considered in the Journey Person candidate class. This can be a significantly large potential drop-off point for the people in the voluntary trades because of the lack of requirements. This means that an apprentice would have to be extremely diligent at tracking their progress to satisfy requirements and monitor their progress in order to submit their logbook. It should be noted that once the apprentice completes their training, they can receive the Certificate of Apprenticeship, also known as the C of A. In order for the apprentice to receive their C of A, the sponsor must submit documents stating that the apprentice has completed their training to the ministry. This could be a letter from the sponsor, proof of sign-off of the apprenticeship training logbook, or the apprenticeship completion form, which all depends on the trade. After receiving the C of A, the apprentice can then pursue the C of Q. For some trades, obtaining the C of Q requires the completion of an exam. For a comprehensive list of what trades this applies to, an apprentice or sponsor can contact the ministry. If your trade does not require you to write the C of Q exam, an apprentice can apply to the ministry for membership in the Journey Person class. It should be duly noted that the C of Q exam itself is a potential drop-off point for apprentices. If the apprentice is expected to take the exam more than once in order to pass it, financial constraints may begin to compound. It is crucial that financial supports and subsidies be engaged at this time. This process is illustrated in its cyclical nature in the green and purple at this phase. It should be noted that if the sponsor is a union sponsor, the C of Q exam is subsidized by the union local. Obtaining the Certificate of Qualification. This is the point where the apprentice is now considered a part of the Journey Person class. At this stage, it seems like the C of Q is often perceived by apprentices as an achievement and a milestone in becoming a licensed Journey Person. Some apprentices consider the C of Q as a measurement of their skills. The perseverance to pursue and finally pass the exam is considered a huge milestone, whereas individuals already working with the C of Q may not necessarily celebrate the occasion. After becoming Journey Person class, an apprentice can prepare for the Red Seal examination. Eligibility for the Red Seal examination differs by trade and by type of tradesperson. Having the Red Seal qualifies an individual to work in other provinces and territories, allowing career mobility throughout Canada. It should be noted that some trades include the Red Seal in their Certificate of Qualification exam, referred to earlier as the C of Q. The Red Seal is the highest distinction that a tradesperson can achieve in Canada. The ministry commissioned Bridgeable consultants to produce this journey map, illustrating the apprenticeship pipeline. As a result of this consultation process, it was discovered that a pre-apprenticeship pipeline required extensive investigation due to barriers that were revealed through the apprenticeship consultation process.